open or from
How about this? Big fat.
That's my
challenge. Oh, I don't want to challenge you because your eyes are like, oh,
that is already in. The episode's going to start with that, and then it's going to be the music, and then it's going to be this. It's happening.
Oh, the algorithm will bury us to the bottom of the ocean.
Samuel.
Welcome to the FineCast. I am Sultan.
I am Brapscallion.
And I am Brapscallion.
No, Chris, you're not
Hang on, which one am I?
You're Warsmith Chris.
We did go through this beforehand, but my memory is shocking. Which one am I again? Sorry,
long.
Warsmith Chris.
Long, hasn't it?
It has been a little while, hasn't it? We're very sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually been one episode that we've missed, but in FineCast land, that's loads because it's like we only do this every 2 weeks, right?
It's like when on Interstellar, when they go down to the planet with all the gravity, and they're down there for an hour and they come back and it's been like 43 years.
That's what it's been like.
The difference is with the FineCast, when you listen to it, an hour feels like 43 years. That's it's like it's a difference.
Well, it's like last week I forgot my laptop. Sorry, but that's why there was no thing. I forgot my laptop and I was like, "Oof, this little maneuver is going to cost us 51 years."
Yeah.
maybe in listener numbers on the trend of going up, it's going to cost us 51 years worth of progress. But we're here now, and that's all that matters. How is everybody?
The 15. I just want to say to the 15 people that are still listening to FineCast after our little blunder there. Thank you for sticking with us. We really appreciate it. Oh, hang on. It's just gone down. No. 13 listeners. 12 listeners. There we go. All right. Thank you to the 12 listeners.
It's going off and off.
All 5 of you. I love you.
Yeah. No, I'm doing good. I'm doing good now.
It's warm.
It's warm. It's sweaty. I've done lots of hobby.
Chris is particularly shiny. You guys can't see that, but I just want you all to know that he's particularly shiny. Because we don't use the camera for this, I'm here in a sleeveless vest, all hanging out. I don't have a hat on. When I'm on ECP, I like to shield you guys from my bald head and everything, but these guys, they got to witness all of it. I've slept right next to Samuel. He's seen everything. He's seen.
Hang on.
Buck naked.
Are you telling me that when you record the ECP, that's you putting on the glitz and glamour? That's you in your glam?
No. It's me defending people from because I have a light on, right?
Oh, yeah.
I have a key light. If I don't wear a hat, then the key light literally shines.
You look like a navigator. You just got like
the third eye,
third eye, just a bright light in the middle of your head.
But anyway, this is completely irrelevant to the listening audience because they cannot see me right now. But
just
imagine
John McClane.
A bright beacon. Yeah.
He looks like John McClane in Die Hard, if you're wondering. He looks exactly like that. Exactly like that. What I want to talk about, we've got a little cheeky topic this evening, but what I want to talk about before that is the Badab War.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada boom!
I have a feeling that people are going to say, the Badab War. Brap. Why would we talk about such an ancient part of the 41st millennium? Why would we talk about the Badab War? That's nothing to do with anything that's going on with Warhammer at the moment. What would you say to those
Chris,
people?
I'm glad you asked, because that gives me a chance to wax lyrical. For those that care or don't know, the Badab War is like a little bit of history that GW wrote to sell Forge World Space Marines, to try and sell Astral Claws, Minotaurs, and a few others. And now what's happened is us three, we're going to like a little gaming retreat at the end of this year, organised by our friends. So we're meeting up with other people that we know to go and play some games, right? And just out of a single sentence that was said to me by somebody, as just a thing saying we should, because this guy, he's a friend of DZ, friend of the show, Morty and John. He's a top lad. He said to me he collects Howling Griffins, which if you don't know are are they red and yellow,
red and yellow,
Marines?
yeah.
Like
very difficult to paint.
Yeah, really hard, and he paints them really nice. But we split the Horus Heresy box together to get some cheap Space Marines, and he said to me, "Oh, with all these firstborn that we've now both got, I've already got loads." But he said, "Let's have
brag about it."
I'm a big shot with my little tiny Space Marines. He said, like, let's do a Badab War game. And I thought that sounds interesting because Minotaurs and Howling Griffins were in the Badab War, this fictional period of history, this campaign that's really cool. And I said, yeah, down for it. Then somebody else messaged me saying, you know this campaign that you and Mordy and John are doing? What are the rules? Is it a tournament? And I literally said, well, it is now because you've said that. And this guy was like, oh no, like I thought I thought it was all arranged. I was like, no, this was just a sentence. So it's now gone out of control. And basically, there's a few of our friends that are now planning. Sultan's in, Warsmith Chris is in. At the end of the year, when we meet up at this place for this gaming retreat, we're also going to be bringing 1,000 points each of Firstborn, and we're having this weird little Badab War competition. And it's all Firstborn Marines. It's the stupidest, most daft units you can bring, and it's just non-stop fun. And I'm so excited, boys. I'm
well up for it. The house itself is we're referring to it as the Murder House 3, right? Because every time we do an event, we stay at Matt Demon. Yeah, every time we do an event, we stay in a house where someone's definitely been murdered. I mean, the last one that was quite nice. Sam actually, the last one. It was nice, but it was definitely haunted, right?
Sorry, yes. Okay, so we just had recently a DZTV narrative event. That place was haunted. Like the door just opens by itself. Yeah, there was definitely ghosts. I got molested. Like, it's... and that might have been Chris.
Is that nothing to do with me and him? Booked you into like a hen party's retreat?
Yeah, but it was in an ancient, like a proper old burial ground. I'm not even joking. There was
Native
like
American burial ground.
Yeah, there was a dead horse in the garden.
Made of plastic. The head was in your bed. The head was in your bed.
Yeah, it was messed up. But this house is next level, right? So we're going to play the Badab War in this house, where I'm not going to. It will identify it too much if I say what it is, but it's got some history. Did you see the history behind it? Who used to live there? No. I'll tell you about it later. But it's definitely at least 16 people per 10 years have died in there. So guaranteed.
But
per 10 years?
Before we get back...
like 1,600 people have died.
Easy.
It's been a massacre. Before we start making people jealous about this trip they can't go on to this haunted house where 1,600 people have died.
We'll post about it on Instagram.
Basically, the Badab War, where for people that want to know, is this conflict where the Astral Claws, the Space Marine chapter, said, I've had enough of the Imperium and the High Lords of Terror. They're a bunch of wankers. We hate them. We're going to start our own. We're going to start our own star system with our mates,
blackjack and hookers.
Exactly, and their mates were like a few Space Marine chapters, and the Space Marine chapters that joined the Astral Claws didn't know they were bad whoppers. They just thought they were taking a stand
because they had some valid complaints originally, right?
Right. Turns out Astral Claws. Chaos. They were being corrupted by chaos. So then what happened was this big, it's kind of like a tiny mini Horus Heresy, but in 40k. So all these Space Marine chapters kicked off against each other, kicked fuck out of each other, and then the Astral Claws ran off and then became the Red Corsairs, the Chaos Warband that is now called the Red Corsairs. So everyone that's joining in is either collecting a chapter, like me, I collect Minotaurs already, and they're a big part of the Badab War. But other people who wanted to get in on the action for a bit of fun and a few games at the weekend and a bit of a theme have chosen different chapters who are also involved. So lads, I will start off with Sultan. Sultan, who are you? You're joining in. What chapter have you picked?
Of course, I need yet another Space Marine army, so I'm going for Salamanders.
Nice.
I love Salamanders, and I've gone full like Firstborn, like Stern Guard. I haven't used Stern Guard.
Yeah, man.
Maybe once I've used them. I can't wait. So yeah, Stern Guard with some combi weapons and a Land Raider Redeemer, which is like the worst Land Raider, but I cannot wait.
Yeah, I was actually going to propose something to you. I'm going to do it live on air.
Peer pressure.
We were talking about it beforehand. We thought
you're going to propose to me.
Yeah, I'm going to propose to you anyway. But
yes,
instead of to keep it wacky and weird, do we agree amongst ourselves that we don't go so that any vehicles we have got to be on a Rhino chassis? So I'll ditch my Sicarian, you ditch your Land Raider, but it stops it. It lets us play with Firstborn Marines running around being Firstborn Marines without being like mowed down by T8 weapon, T8 vehicles. They can't do anything about. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, we're gonna relive those battles. There is a little important bit that Brad missed out on the lore there as well, and that is that this coalition of Space Marine chapters, the Lamenters, the Astral Claws, the Mantis Warriors, the Executioners, and such, were all tasked with defending an area of space that was closer to the Maelstrom, right? And they were called the Wardens, the Maelstrom Wardens or something. So their job was actually to defend mankind against chaos as these like proper appointed wardens by the High Lords of Terror. Now, it was during this time that Huron.
Such a stupid name.
Huron.
Ended Dolph Lundgren of the Astral Claws.
Well, when you hang out next to a freaking entrance to fucking hell, someone's going to get got, aren't they?
It's not going to warp your name.
Yeah, did it?
He's put like an extra F in there or something, like a bit freaky. Like, oh, he's going chaos. Chris, you've not even told them who you're collecting, bro.
I'm going to go for Mantis Warriors because they're Mantis Warriors, which is great. They're like green space.
We kill our partners after sex.
Yeah, exactly. They cut their heads off. They're White Scar successors, and obviously they're the baddies, but they're goodies, right? So basically, everyone apart from the Astral Claws, essentially, after it's all over, gets a smack on the wrist. We were talking about this earlier. The High Lords of Terror, in all their power and wisdom, when the Badab War was over, the Lamenters and the Executioners and the Mantis Warriors all wanted to redeem themselves. So they said, we're going to punish you severely for turning against the Imperium Man. What we're going to do is we're going to make you go out on a 100-year crusade.
Roger, your job.
And they're like, are you sure, mate? I mean, I love crusading. Like
the Space Marine next to him shoved him with his elbow and went, "Shut up!"
Yeah,
this is a terrible punishment.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't want to. The Lamenters don't have a home world. They're a fleet-based chapter, so they're basically always crusading anyway. But anyway, that's what happened.
I love that. Your punishment will be to do your job for 100 years. It's like,
your punishment, Mr. Giles, is to eat a whole chocolate cake all on your own. And it's like, no, not
why?
yeah. So that happened.
Can I have another?
And they did get sacked off in another way as well. All the Baddie Marines, because this happened quite close to the modern storyline. It's a few thousand years back or whatever, but it's close to the 41st millennium. When the Primaris came along, they went, right, you guys were really naughty, right? So you don't get any Primaris Marines, but you can have this machine that makes Primaris Marines. And so they could still make Primaris Marines. They just didn't get any of the already made ones. So it was like, we're not gonna give you any of these sweets, but we're gonna give you a sweet shop.
You have to earn it.
Get them yourself, and it's like, well, all right.
It's such like
here's some money. Go buy some.
It's like such 5 to 5 Friday afternoon writing, isn't it? It's like the end of Badab War, and they go, and what's the punishment? It's like on The Simpsons where they have that Lord of the Flies episode, and they go, and they were rescued by, I don't know, Mo. It's like it's like that. It's like, and at the end, the traitors got, I don't know, to do their job for a little bit.
For 100 years.
Yeah, for 100 years, which is fuck all.
Fuck all in Space Marine's life.
It's just fuck all. And it's like, you what? And then the Mantis Warrior is like, well, you've been very naughty. And we're like, yeah, we know, but we love those new bigger boys. Can we have some bigger boys? And they go, yeah. And they go, brilliant. But you're not having the slightly weird ones that have been sat in eggs for years.
Yeah.
So we're just going to make our own, like...
No, Mantis are born from eggs. How could you do this to us?
So we're just going to have to go to our homeworld and recruit like we normally do, but we can make them even better. And then Cole's going, yeah.
Yeah,
that.
Pretty much.
And then they go, is this a trick? Are you taking it, like... I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. Do you want me to feel upset? Because I'll feel upset if you want.
Yeah.
This sounds sick.
A bit more 5 to 5 writing as well, by the way. One of the other punishment, they did actually have a bigger punishment than that. as well as the 100 years of crusading, they also had to give up their homeworld, right? Their homeworld was called Uthaka, which is the name of the fucking cocoons that mantises go into when they get bigger, right? And do you know who got the Uthaka, their homeworld?
Who, Chris?
The space sharks.
Now.
You've got to finish this.
I know what Sultan's thinking. Sultan's thinking.
What,
everyone's thinking
space
it, man.
sharks?
No. Sultan, you're thinking, oh, the Carcharodon chapter, the space sharks. Me and Chris found out before you joined the Sultan that no, it is not the Carcharodons. There's a different chapter actually called the space sharks.
Yeah.
But they say in all the Warhammer community articles that the Carcharodons Astra are the space sharks.
Yeah,
Chris is now going to show you. Obviously, this doesn't work for our listeners, but listeners, if you go on 40k fandom and look up Space Shark chapter, you can get to it through the Mantis Warriors chapter. Sultan, don't look it up. Chris is going to show you on his screen. If you look at the state of this shoulder pauldron,
mate, that's clip art.
I kind of want a chapter of space. I might do Space Shark.
Do you know what that is?
Badab War.
That is. Have they got any ties to the AdMech? Because the AdMech definitely found Microsoft XP, Windows XP, Microsoft Office, Word 2003 edition clip art.
Right. So
if anyone's just went, that'll do. Clip. Holy
Space
text.
Sharks are a Raven Guard successor chapter.
What the fuck?
They were founded during the 23rd founding in the 37th millennium, and their motto is first in, last out. Yeah, nice one, boys.
That's my motto as well. At the Turkish baths in the city centre. It is immense that that Space Sharks. For anyone listening now, just pause this or get your phone out and just look up Space Sharks chapter, not Carcharodons. Because I don't like Carcharodon because they got history with the Minotaurs, but they are cool.
Oh shit, bruv!
What?
They are the Carcharodons.
Oh right.
They just got a redesign. So instead
that's
of
their
old
cool, 80s
yeah. Okay,
it says no. Doesn't it say they're not to be confused with the Carcharodons in the 40K?
We're getting lied
fandom?
to, mate. Because you go to the Carcharodons,
Is it bullshit?
They're also Raven Guard successors, and it says fleet-based chapter recently granted the Mantis Warriors homeworld of Uthaka, which is what it says in the other.
I don't know what to believe anymore because
I tell you what, if someone does Carcharodons and they use the old space shark symbol, then
the clip art one,
they're getting serious points from
you. Have to see the space. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go. I've got a guy that does custom transfers, and I'll show him them, and he'll go, "You want these?
Are you sure?"
They come from Japan because this guy's got a special printer that he's got in Japan. He goes, "You want me to send these over? You know this is expensive. This is £20 a sheet," and I'm like, "I know how much it is." And I want the Space Shark old logo.
I'm issuing you a challenge, right?
Yeah.
I'm issuing you a challenge. If you turn up with 5 beakies or 10 beakies as a reinforcements to your Minotaurs, and they are space sharks with the classic space shark shoulder pad, I will.
What am I getting? Yeah. What am I getting?
Well, in all these things,
see what I love about
major kudos points, right? It's major respect, is what it is.
I'd love it in real life. So basically, the Mantis Warriors had a homeworld, and they gave it to space sharks, and it's imagine putting a shark in a mantis's natural habitat.
The mantises are fucked. They just get dropped in the ocean, and the shark's like, "All right, how's it going? I can smell you." We've not even got onto the best bit about the Mantis Warriors. Chris has been looking at, and this is not going to really translate well into radio, but Chris has been looking at Mantis Warrior conversions today.
Some really fucking weird ones.
People have really, the hobby community has really got into the idea that the Space Marines are also giant insects.
Oh, they're well into mantises. There's a literal right. So you can be like salamanders, right? So the salamanders are a cool chapter. They use fire weapons and stuff like that. People sometimes put a little bit of lizard skin on their shoulders, but they generally don't try and make them look like they're actual fucking reptile.
Yeah, they're not dinosaurs.
Yeah. So a few misguided souls have gone, Mantis Warriors, that means they must really like mantises and the theme of being praying mantises, right? And then some guy, and if that one guy happens to be in our last 12 listeners, we're going to drop down to 11 now. And I apologize in advance, but it's worth it. Because, bro, I'm not sure what you're thinking, right? So the first one, guys attached
You know you
got
are.
a chainsword, cut it in half, halfway down, and then just attached another chainsword at a right angle sticking out of it to make what I
it's
imagine.
like a boomerang.
It's like a set square. It's like an architect's set square. It's mental.
With chain teeth.
I imagine it was supposed to look like a pointy
mandible thing.
Mantises have those horrible
sticky
arms
legs.
that kind of like hook arms that grab stuff. I used to have a praying mantis. He was actually really cool. It's supposed to look like that, and then he'd also
did he lose his home world to a shark as well?
He did, yeah. he did. He lived so long that his eyes just stopped working because he was so old. It was amazing. He was literally an ancient
Point not for
mantis.
him.
Are we talking about the Mantis or the hobbyist that made the Space Marine captain?
Yeah, I think both of them. Both of them suffered the same fate. Dr. Mantido was his name. Great mantis.
That's a good name. That is a strong name.
He used to sit on my shoulder. The bro actually could. He was a bro. But anyway, Dr. Mantido, R.I.P. You're a very long-lived mantis because I kept feeding him stuff.
What mantis do to their partners. You're lucky he just considered you a bro.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If he wanted more.
Listen, I've realised with the power of social media, I'm now going to post on the Instagram with no real reference or anything. I'm just going to post a picture of this Space Marine captain, and I'm just going to have the caption Dr. Mantido. So when people, nobody knows what it'll be, and then if they listen to this, it'll make sense, but they'll be like, oh, that's what that thing was, and they can go back on our Instagram, the FineCast podcast, and they can see Dr. Mantido, this model that we're talking about. Yeah. Chris, explain what's on his back, please.
So on his back as well, his backpack, they've sculpted like these. I think, are they supposed to be like real insect arms? They're not like mechanical, are they? They're like green mantis limbs as well.
His backpack has been subjected to like the Art Attack intro. There's like paint everywhere.
Now, I want to say, so the Mantis Warriors are a successor of the White Scars, right? Therefore, they've kind of got that Mongol warrior kind of vibe going on, like the martial arts and all that kind of thing, and honor and all that kind of stuff. The kind of East Asian martial arts thing that goes through that area. So when I look at Mantis Warriors, I think more about like the Mantis clan, or like that they're basing it off of the respect for an animal that has a particular
like a fighting style rather than actual mandibles.
Which I find it amusing that some people have just gone the other way entirely and been like, oh yeah, they love being mantises. They just want to be big
bugs,
locust-eating bugs. Yeah. Can you do me another favor?
Just like Rick and Morty.
What can I do for you, Chris?
I think on our story as well, with no reference whatsoever, just pop the old Space Sharks logo. Just pop it on there as a story, no text. Drop a little bit of music on there if you want. Something to spice it up.
Baby Shark. Done.
Baby. Yeah, just stick it on there. People have no idea either. Listen to this now. You can go back and you can have you could be in on 2 jokes.
All 11 of you.
All 11 listeners.
I love how interactive we are. It's a clever ploy, this, because we're like, if you want to get the full vibe of the story, you got to go and follow us on our Instagram.
It's like the Matrix.
We're so clever.
You gotta watch the movie and play the game. But it's when we're to blame on BBC News tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's like man dies whilst on his phone because he was listening to shit wargaming podcasts. We're like, no, that was us. Yeah. And it turns out it was actually like the Conclave or something. But
I mean, kill me before I fucking listen to that shit. Only joking, Conclave's wicked. Big up to all my Conclave crew. I'm only messing.
Big up the Conclave crew. They did give me one of the worst podcast experiences of all time.
Jesus.
No, I got them on the ECP. That
wasn't even a shit sandwich. That wasn't even compliment criticism. No.
They know what they did to me. I got them on the ECP over on DZTV, and there was like 50 of them. And one of their internets kept dropping out, and I had to try and edit it together with like one of the tracks just like constantly disconnecting and needing to be like resynced with the rest of it. Like 20, it was tough. It was tough going. It was tough going for an editor.
Is it even worse than when we record and my signal drops out? If we do like a podcast for DZ and my signal drops out and you have to stitch it all together with me going, hello, who's there? Is it even worse than that?
It was a lot worse than that.
There's a man in my house.
Imagine that, but with like 6 people all dropping out at random times.
I don't want to. But boys. So Badab War War. The Mantis Warriors are great. Some people are really into like insects and space marines.
Oh yeah.
And then Sultan's doing salamanders. I'm doing minotaurs. But I after posting, I've just posted the shoulder pad on for the space sharks on our Instagram story.
So cool.
Of nothing. I'm getting close to. I might have to paint up some space sharks with that logo. But
yes, mate, just put loads of like bones all over them. It'd be great.
No, I don't like the Carcharodon vibe. It's all right. They've got a bit of they've got a history of the Minotaurs, so I'm a bit space sharks.
What are the Carcharodons all about then?
Carcharodons, they're just like poor man's Minotaurs.
They're nothing like the Minotaurs. They're a fleet-based chapter. Like basically, they're scavengers.
The Scratters, for
lack of a better term. Yeah,
the Scratters.
They're
That's a better term. The Scratters.
Yeah. They'll pick up everything. They got like loads of like. Mantis Warriors. One guy did a well. You haven't. Have you started them?
Well, no, but you know.
There's a great Warcom. This is a public service announcement now. There's a Warcom article about Carcharodon's Astra where a guy did some like awesome conversions and it had like Maori symbols all over the armor.
Yeah,
and loads of like teeth and bones and like he changed the swords to have like. Shark bones and teeth and stuff alongside. So the chain swords had like teeth instead of chain blades.
Yeah.
Like super worth checking out. He did an awesome paint job and awesome conversions, and it was just very cool.
Cool.
Maybe you want to start Carcharodons immediately.
Much rather have a right angle chainsaw.
Easy conversion potential as well, because you can look at like Edna Deepkin and stuff like that, and you can.
Well, that's what he did. Yeah. Just nicking loads of spears and stuff.
Also, Chris, Carcharodons are good guys in the Badab War.
Yeah, fuck that.
You need to be Mantis Warriors because they're bad lads. So far it's you and our friend Mikey P who's bringing Executioners, and they're the only bad guys we've got so far.
Oh, come on. We need some more baddies.
We need some more baddies. So basically, we're all collecting. If you can imagine Horus Heresy as a hipster version of Warhammer 40,000, this is a hipster version of Horus Heresy because it's people who won't admit to playing Horus Heresy, who are still collecting Horus Heresy appropriate armies, but are playing them in a 40k rule set. It's so convoluted. It's so stupid. But I'm really excited about because at the weekend I played like a really narrative game, and it was like. Tanith First and Only versus Renegades and Heretics, so like the Blood Pact in the books. Apparently, I've not read the books. I'm reading them now after that game. But it was so cool playing something super, like playing a story. It's almost like I imagine Star Wars Legion players feel like they're reading a story. So I'm really looking forward to this Badab War conflict because it'll be a laugh and it'll be fun, but it'll also be something that kind of actually happened in the lore.
So
we can play it out. If we can bring the right terrain and pick a few like conflicts and stuff, we can play some actual things that happened, which would be cool. I'm excited.
That's why I'm thinking if we don't bring Land Raiders and stuff, I think the idea that we're all fairly ineffective would make it a lot more fun.
Just plinking off each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But Sultan doesn't give a shit. Sultan's going to turn up with the big Land Raider and go, well, joke's on you, eat this. And then everyone's got an autocannon, which is the perfect number of wounds against Space Marines. It'd be sick. And he's just like, remove. And I'm here for the trophy, boys. I'm not here for a laugh. I'm here for the trophy. Give me the trophy. I've also found an incredible trophy.
It's so good. That's all that got me in, actually, was the trophy. Not even joking.
We'll reveal the trophy on like our Instagram.
I was in like before I saw that it was even a tournament or trophy. I just heard collect new Space Marines force and was in, and then I was like, "Oh, so what are we doing?"
So when it comes to collecting new Space Marine chapters, Sultan, it's not even. People say a push, then it becomes a nudge. I don't know what's lower than a nudge. Because Sultan needs the least amount of convincing. Because he's got this thing in his breath. All you need is like someone to mention the slightest thing, and you're like, last time when you started collecting White Scars, because you wanted to collect White Scars, and you're like, I'm not sure. And then Stylus went, I think we were talking to Stylus, a friend of ours, Stylus went, I like White Scars. And then Sultan went, right, that's settled it. I've got a list. I'm collecting them. And then when I left you, Sultan, on that day, you drove home, and then you were posting pictures of White Scars that you'd painted in the evening. You were like, right, so the army started. So Sultan just needs a breath, and he's gone. So I'm looking forward to seeing Sultan's take on Salamanders.
I like Space Marines.
I'd like to point out as well, Sultan, that when the Mantis Warriors are finishing their Badab War, I have the option, if I want to move to as time progresses after their 100 years penitent crusade is over. I can add some Primaris that I keep getting on the old Imperium magazine. I can bring them into the modern realms, and I'll have a good guy army for once to play as well. So
that's a really cool idea.
For once, yeah.
And I just thought, right, what would happen if the Black Templars were the ones who got in trouble and got forced to go on a 100-year crusade? Because they are actually on an eternal crusade, aren't they?
Massive erections.
They'd be given 500 years of admin.
Yeah, they'd have to do the opposite, wouldn't they?
They'd be given the fatter spreadsheets by the Inquisition.
So you got to go work with the Mechanicus. No!
Yeah. And you've also got to do fucking macros on the spreadsheets and everything, and pivot tables and all that bollocks. And they'd just be like, you are having a fucking laugh.
We're taking away all your melters and flamers. You have to use bolt guns only. Why? Why have you done this? You're not allowed chains anymore.
What else are they not allowed? They're not allowed incense either.
No incense.
Or cloth for tabards.
No chains, no cloths, no bolters, no flamers. All they're allowed is las pistols.
Imperial Guard power armor.
Not even allowed guns, and they've got to wear mittens all the time to stop them from punching.
What about
nice punches?
What about Necromundian web guns? Is all they're allowed. It doesn't
You've
hurt
got to
anyone.
trap the witch. You've got to trap the witch and bring it back for rehabilitation. And they're going, can we not just like fucking purge it and shit? And they're going, no, you've got to put it in your daft Land Raider, and you've got to bring it home, and then we'll look after them and make them better.
Yeah, Land Raider Crusader with all the barrels removed.
Yeah, and imagine all the purity seals taken off it. It's just black. It just looks so boring. Okay. It's like
so this reminds me of something. So this is a slight spoiler, not for any of our channels or anything. But this is a slight spoiler for the mini wargaming channel. So if you're going to watch this battle report, please go and just skip this part for like 30 seconds. But we had to make each other's lists for a 4-way game. Me, Winters, Mini Wargaming Dave, and Liam. And I had to make Winters' list. Because the idea was like whoever lost had to post something shit on Instagram or whatever. I was like, I don't want to lose. So I chose Winters' list, and he was playing the 13th. So do you guys want to hear the worst Space Marine list I could come up with?
Go on.
Okay, so it was a lieutenant with just a bolt gun, because I had to give him a HQ. It had to be a legal list. I gave him so the first part we gave it in 2 halves. So it was 1,250 points, and we did the first 750, and then the other half afterwards. Like turn 3, they came in as reserves. So the first part was a lieutenant and 2 tactical squads, normal, no special weapons, just tactical squads. And I was like, cool, that's not actually a bad start. Later on, he got a 7-man Devastator squad with no heavy weapons.
Nice.
He got 24 servitors.
Nice. Now we're talking.
And then, because they're so fucking expensive, he got 2 dreadnought drop pods that were empty.
Now we're talking. That's a good list.
And I told him, he's like, right, you've got 2 warlords, you've got 2 traits. The first one, because I got to choose successor traits for him. I was like, firstly, his warlord was a tech marine, by the way, and his warlord had a fearsome aspect, so he was scary. He reduced leadership by 1 to enemies around him. And then his army traits, where I chose the rapid assault one, that means all assault weapons, you don't get the penalty when you advance to shoot them. No assault weapons in his army. And bearing in mind, he was fighting Tau, Chaos, and Necrons. His preferred enemy was orcs. So he just came in with like the most shit Space Marine list that's ever existed, and presenting him with those dreadnought drop pods is one of the highlights of my life.
Right, so we had a different topic that we were maybe going to talk about. I've got a better idea, because I want to discuss something called the blunderdome, which is there's a website called Goonhammer, which I'm sure you guys are aware of, but it's basically a Warhammer website for everybody.
Teaches how to use your army.
But the amazing thing is they figured out on there's this thing called the blunderdome where they had this idea, and it was the worst lists you could possibly run, and it was challenges to come up with the worst lists.
So
yours
fun.
is so high, but this Tau list that was on there was incredible, right? It's 2,000 point list. I've got it here, right? So you're ready. So I'll read it out to you. So is a Cadre Fireblade, and it's 3 squads of 12 marker drones. And then it's another Cadre Fireblade, and it's crisis suits, 3 models with counterfire defense system, trackers, target locks, 6 marker light drones, all crisis suits with marker light drones, and then more of that, right?
So there's no weapons so far.
So it says right, key features, it's got in air quotes, and the guy says, I worry that even given the goals of this competition, I may have gone too far. Tau are usually a 2-phase army, having no psychers or psychic defense and no combat worth considering. But this list one-ups that and removes their premier phase for doing work by simply not having any shooting.
So the 2 Cadre Fire
phase, and that's it.
Yeah, they get 2 single strength 5 shots.
Yeah.
They get 2 pulse rifles.
Yeah, 2 pulse rifle shots.
It gets a movement phase and that's it. I've also moved the attached drones around to maximize their vulnerability to blast weapons. This list starts with 0 CP and no obset models at all. You'll be lucky to score 10 points all game on primaries, and picking secondaries is possibly worse. So then it goes on about like how it can't even do secondaries, like it can't like pick up points because it doesn't have the ways to do it. And it's like shooting. It says shooting ? 3 pulse rifles that hit on 2s already, buffed by checked notes 65 marker lights. And then it goes, and then it's like punching, AP dash, weapon skill 5+, and there's not even any free upgrades that he could have taken in the bodyguard unit. So he could have had free help, but he's not taken that. So it says your SEP trait is slightly longer range on the marker lights. Like that's what he gets. and then he caps it off with, this is probably the worst thing I have ever done in my entire life. So I'll just read one more as well. Right, so there's a guard list here, right? This guard list is amazing. For anybody, like, we'll come off it in a bit, but for anybody wanting to know, go on to Goonhammer and search the Blunderdome, because this is a whole bunch of articles and it's so worth reading. But this is a Vanguard Astra Militarum, 2,000 points, 95 power level. It's like Vanguard and Spearheads and stuff, but it's a Commissar, a Lord Commissar, and then Elites is 3 more Commissars. and then it's like 6 Lehman Russ Vanquishers, which are famously next level shit.
So bad.
I used one at the weekend, and it's got like 1 gun, and it's not very good. And then there's 3 Deathstrikes and another Lord Commissar.
3 Deathstrikes.
Oh no, shit! There's more. He's had to figure out more. Another detachment with another Lord Commissar, 3 officers of the fleet, 2 more Lemurus Vanquishers, and he goes, "Let's have a look." He says, "Honestly, these shit lists feel pretty natural for the Guard Codex. It's frankly why I've been pushing to play this Blunderdome all along. I just need something for this Codex to excel at." So he says, it starts off with a clean 0 CP. Don't worry, it's been well spent to ensure that your officers and commissars don't have to hang out in the same detachment. Let's have a look. We needed that second Vanguard to make absolutely sure there's no OBSEC in the list at all by putting the Vanquishers into a spearhead. So basically, it's like 3 Deathstrikes. Right, spoilers for anything, but spoilers for the battle report about to go on DZTV. But I painted a Deathstrike for my Hobby Apocalypse, the painting challenge that we do for DZ. I painted a Deathstrike because I thought it looked cool. And I used my Deathstrike for the first time last weekend. And it is on another level of shit. Like, so let me explain to you. The Deathstrike is the Imperial Guard tank with the massive rocket, the massive missile on it, the big nuclear warhead strapped to the back, right? Looks cool as shit. But to fire that, I didn't know this, and I know this now. To fire that nuclear missile, you have to roll 1d6 and add the turn, the turn number that it is.
The doomsday counter, innit, or something.
And then it goes off. But you have to get an 8+ for it to go off. So it can't fire on turn 1 at all.
Yeah.
On turn 2, you get 1 dice and you have to get a 6 and it'll fire. On turn 3, on a 5 up, it'll fire. Turn 4, 4 up. Turn 5, 3 up. So its chances of firing are so minimal that it's like 120 points, and you might not even get to use it.
It might never fire. Yeah.
So spoilers. Like, no, actually, I'll leave it. You see, you figure out if my Deathstrike or not fired in this
based on what you're saying.
It was. Yeah. I got the rules out, and I literally went to the table. I went, what? Like, I was like annoyed at my Codex. I was annoyed at the app. I was like, what are you on about? 8+? Like, if it had been a 7 and by turn 5 it's definitely gonna fire a 2 up. If it's still alive, it would have been. It's just so stupid. Are you ready for this Tyranid list?
Oh, go on,
I kind of don't want to keep going on about it. But the problem is
the
lists get better and better.
Yeah,
right?
I love them.
Tyranid list. Are you ready? Right, let's have a look. HQ, Neurothrope. The power is Death Treat. We'll get back onto that. This is the old Codex, 8th Codex, by the way. Tyranid Prime with 2 Scythed Talons and the Young Girl factor. Fast attack. 3 lots of 3 Mucilid Spores. 2 dedicated transports, which are Tyrannocytes. So 2 Tyrannocytes. And then it's the same again. It's just Tyrannocytes and Mucilid Spores. And there's a Red Terror and a Death Leaper. So for people that don't know, Tyrannocyte is the big Tyranid transport. There's a big blob that like wobbles in the air.
That you've never seen on the table.
You've never seen on the table because it's that bad. And the spore mines. So they just sort of float about. So key features of this, the author said, I had originally left this list to speak for itself, but as one might see from the Neurothrope's powers, all it has is its own death shriek, and so I am left to speak on behalf of my creation. High Fleet Hydra provides Tyranids with the ability to re-roll all hits when they outnumber their opponent. As such, we run no multi-model units with attacks. We run no infantry units without the character keyword in order to constrain the scoring. And we provide shooting in the form of ballistic skill 5+ models with with a sad profile of a Death Hex Raider. So a Tyrannocyte, like, that's the only thing that can shoot, and it shoots on a 5 up. You might...
He's breaking down.
It's so bad. Hang on. You might hope to find solace in the offensive power of the Red Terror. 5 strength 4, AP -1, 1 damage attacks. Or the Tyranid Prime. 4 strength 5, AP-1 attacks. No? At least they can raise banners. Some of them have relics. You can probably pay without looking. You can probably play without looking them up for all the good they'll do you. So then basically, to round it out, we have 128 points of this list in the forms of weapons that are technically a data sheet. So they've basically got all their mines running around that don't do a lot of damage. And that's the whole list. There's like 50 mines on the list. That's awful. But check it out. I found the Necron list.
All right.
The Necron list is...
Is it pylons?
3 Gauss pylons, Lord of War choices. So for anyone that doesn't know, it's just like a big satellite dish, and it's 475 points. And then There's a Catacomb Command Barge and an Overlord, which they've got to have to make it legal, and then 3 Canoptic Reanimators. So, which main job is to pick up Necron Warriors, but there aren't any Necron Warriors to pick up.
Let's go around buzzing rocks. You're like, what's going on?
I think they have something like a proboscis that they can like jab.
That's it. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
So anybody, there's a few more lists, and they're all Sultan. You'll love the fuck me. You'll love the Drukhari list. It's just chimeras, which are the weird cat dogs, and there's there's 2 Court of the Archons, which are Medusas and Lamians, but 4 of each. So there's two.
You got the 2 worst choices at the court.
Yeah. So they take 4 of each and they max it out.
You want Sliths, just so everyone knows. You want the other 2 are Sliths and Urgles, and they're the ones you want.
Yeah. And then there's 9 Razorwing flocks as well, like the little birds.
Just birds.
Yeah. It's great. So check out this. There's a Space Marine list here with the picture is 3 of the jump pack guys, what they call interceptors, and one of them's come off his base, broken, and it's on like the floor of the life box. And it's so perfect. Some of the lists are better than others because some of the like Space Marines, you really struggle to write like a bad list because all the units do stuff. But check out, so they have matchups. They go through a whole tournament. Check out the blunderdome on Goonhammer, because I'm not into all that competitive stuff. But when it's taking the mick and when people are using their competitive brains to
make the worst thing possible,
worst list, like you Sultan with your Dreadnought drop pods. I love that when the people like you said, Sultan, there's a Dreadnought drop pod. Where's the Dreadnought? No, you don't have one, but you've got 2 pods that just can't do anything. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That is always the way.
So yeah, Blunderdome, check it out.
Blunderdome.
Bad lists. Speaking of bad lists, when we do Badab War, the whole point is that it's firstborn, but we're also gonna try and take as soft lists as we can. I mean, some people won't, because the trophy is that good that people will want to come and dominate and get a good trophy. But you know.
But you might be shunned by a council of your peers if you do choose to bring the Thunder to the Badab War. So I'm gonna rethink mine. I'm gonna remove the Sicarian and bring something a lot worse. That I like the look of that. There's a Rhino chassis thing. I posted it in our WhatsApp group actually, and I don't actually know what it is. It's called the Hunter. Is that
like the missile launcher one?
Oh, it's got like a bolt. Yeah, like a big cannon on top.
Yeah, but does it fire like a hunter killer missile out of it or something?
Let's have a look. I'll tell you what, live on air, let's go on to definitely not Warhammer. Definitely not. We're going to go on to. Is there like does GW do like an official?
No.
So you can't get like a desktop official. They don't even have a fucking.
No, you can get the digital codex gives you the data sheets, doesn't it?
You can't buy a digital codex anymore.
No, you get your code and it gives you the data sheets on the app. So once
but what I'm saying is you can't get like a desktop digital, even if you've got the code. Like you can't get the app like a desktop.
No, there's no desktop app for it, which is a bit silly. Isn't it?
It is so unpopular. It is not on Google Images.
Wow.
I'm struggling to find it. Right, here we go. I've got it. Warhampedia Hunter. Right, 11 wounds. Sky Spear. Oh, it's shit. This. Right. Sky Spear missile launcher. Range 60. Heavy 1.
What?
Strength 9, AP -3, damage D6. Each time an attack is made with this weapon against an aircraft unit, it gets 2 to its hit roll. Each time an attack is made with this weapon allocated to an aircraft model, it's got a damage characteristic of D6 +6, which is quite good. But
so it can one-shot a plane, but it only gets one shot.
It can't one-shot a plane because a Valkyrie's got 14 wounds.
Oh God!
I love the idea.
What a hunk of shit!
Also, you can also slap a hunter killer missile onto it, which would be funny because it'd be like Daddy rocket launcher and baby rocket launcher, obviously. And you can only use it once, so you're probably going to do more damage. You might do more damage.
It makes you wonder why they still exist. Like certain models still exist.
Yeah.
Hunters and stalkers. Like, what is a stalker?
They make them that bad, don't they? That like it can just stay there,
so it dies off on its own.
Yeah. It looks so cool. I really like the braces that go into the ground. Like I think that's such a cool.
Yeah,
thing.
That's cool.
I didn't even know that Stalker was a thing, Sultan. I've just seen that now.
What's the Stalker?
That's another
Rhino
thing. It looks cool as shit. Right, let's find out what that does. Space Marines.
It's probably another hunk of crap.
But it's like it looks like an anti-aircraft thing again, but it looks like it's got autocannons.
It's got 2 like autocannons on top. Yeah, maybe it's better than I think. Who knows? Let's find out.
Stalker Wahab. It's mad that Wahapedia is like the top 3 search engine suggestions.
Yeah,
don't talk about it. We don't even know what it is.
Wait, what?
It's got an Icarus Storm Cannon. Heavy 3, AP, strength 7, AP -1, damage 2, which is an autocannon, right?
It's an autocannon, but it's got 3 shots. It's got 2 of them, I guess, yeah.
Each time an attack is made with this weapon against an aircraft unit, make 2 hit rolls instead of 1 and add 1 to both of these hit rolls.
That's not bad.
So, but it's
a 12 shots.
Got 6 barrels. No. Oh, yeah. So, you're right, Sultan. So you get 12 shots. Yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it?
That's not as bad as the Hunter.
That's not saying much. I think you should, Chris. I think you should ball out and get the Command Rhino. What does that even do?
The Rhino Primaris. It could call an orbital strike.
Whoa, dude! What is going on?
I think for like reduced CP.
Right, let's have a look. Damocles Command Rhino. Is that what I'm thinking of?
I thought it was a Rhino Primaris.
Well, a Damocles
might be a Damocles.
This is dog shit as well. You ready? Well, a friendly unit is within 6 of this model. This unit is always considered. Oh no, actually, well, this model is always considered to be within range of the following aura abilities of any friendly chapter unit that are on the battlefield: rights of battle and tactical precision. I think that's reroll 1s to hit. So this goes down.
Well, no, I've just found Rhino Primaris on. Not on Wahapedia.
Right.
Wink. So it's got a twin plasma gun, which isn't actually that bad. But however, look, supercharge. It's got a twin plasma gun. It's a vehicle. Yeah. Supercharge on a hit roll of 1. The bearer is slain.
No. Remove the Rhino.
It's a Rhino. It's got an orbital comms array in your command phase. You can call an orbital barrage, select 1 point on the battlefield, roll 1d6 for each unit within d6 at that point, subtracting 1 for result of his character. On a 4+, they take d3 mortal wounds. It can self-repair, roll 1d6 at the start of turn, which is a Rhino thing. And it's got a servo skull hub, which sounds like a porn site. Targeting data skull. Yeah, servo skull hub. You don't want to know what they're doing to those skulls. Select 1 for any chapter unit within 12 inches of the model. Add 1 to the hit roll. That's not bad. It doesn't even say core. Just 1 chapter unit. Repair skull. Select 1 chapter vehicle. It gets 1 wound. Or Vox skull. Subtract 1 from the morale subtract 1 from a morale test. So the targeting one, adding 1 to the hit roll of any model within 12 isn't bad.
That's all right.
But I'm pretty sure a Tech Marine does that.
Listen, I've got some more rules that I've forgot to mention, right? This thing gets a command point on a 5+ per turn, so he gets rolling an extra command point.
This is the Command Rhino, yeah?
Yeah, and also, this model has a transport capacity of 1.
What?
So you put your general in it, right? So this Command Rhino literally can fit 1 person in it.
Yeah,
and it's your general, and it cannot transport Jump Pack, Terminator, Primaris, Wolfen, Centurion. So it has to be a normal Space Marine captain who you want on the field anyway. So listen, right? While a friendly unit is so you put your captain in it.
Yeah.
And then what it does is when a friendly unit is in 6 inches, the captain still gives the auras. But it's too fast for the people it wants to help because it's now in a Rhino. So it zooms along in this Rhino, and the only benefit is that it can still do the auras, which the captain could have done if it was outside of the Rhino.
On foot, keeping up with the boys.
So what I'm learning apparently is that there are 2 command Rhinos, and neither of them are any good.
Like, why would you do this? Like, why would you? So you'd have if you had your captain out on the table, and you wanted to buff units around him because of Lookout Sir, your opponent wouldn't be able to target him.
Yeah.
But if you put him in the command Rhino,
you get blasted with las cannons.
He moves faster than the units he's trying to buff, so he gets out of range of them, and he becomes targetable. So you zoom him up, he gets blasted, he comes out, and then he's not got to look out, sir, because he's been. I don't.
Then they shoot him again.
Maybe.
Why don't you put him in a normal Rhino with all his mates?
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to say. I was about to say two of the most stupid things in the world. Oh, but you can keep up with bikes and jump packs. We'll put him on a jump pack or a bike.
Yeah, put him on a bike. Yeah. Oh god.
I kind of this is my problem though, because I kind of think now I kind of want a Damocles Command Rhino because
you know what I want? A Land Raider Excelsior.
Boys, listen.
It's the same thing.
It's the Damocles Command Rhino has just got like a little Sky TV dish on its back. I want a Rhino anyway. Why don't I just make an extra turret so I can like get one of the new Horus Heresy Rhinos, and then I can like magnetize it and put it on when I want, and then when I'm feeling stylish, I can run the Damocles Command Rhino and just shoot myself in the foot. It sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? What does the Excelsior do, Sultan? It looks cool.
It does look cool. So weirdly, like I don't know if these are old rules. I'm looking at. Well, I'm guessing maybe it's a Legends option now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, yeah. So it's got not the normal las cannon. It's got two twin las cannons like normal, the Godhammer pattern ones. It's got a grav cannon and a grav amp, which is apparently the same thing. It just has 4 shots and it does some damage. It's a grav weapon, like whatever. It's got an invuln, 5 up. It can add 1 to the hit roll. Listen to this. Data augurs. When resolving an attack made with a ranged weapon by this model, if it is within range of a chapter Rhino Primaris model, add 1 to the hit roll.
So the one that comes in the box with it. So you have to take them both together.
Yeah. And they're both HQs. Smoke launchers. Once per battle, it can pop smoke. God.
Is it a HQ choice?
It's a HQ choice.
So you could run. I mean, I suppose you could run.
Yeah, it does rights of battle. You don't need a chapter. You don't need a captain inside. It just does rights of battle by itself.
But I'm saying like you could run like a captain on a bike or whatever. But if you wanted to run a proper armored like Iron Warriors. Troops or whatever, you could use this to run it. I love the weird and wonderful mad shit. It's some of my favourite stuff.
Have you looked at how sick Space Marine Scout bikers are? All of them.
Oh, they look amazing, but they're absolute pants. Like,
what do you mean they're absolute pants? They're T5. Nice. They got 2 wounds, 4 up save, not so great, but they've got shotguns and twin bolters. They drive up to people and shoot them with a shotgun. Yeah.
You can still buy them. Yeah.
Element's got 1 in stock.
We need these.
They do look. They don't look. The problem is that scouts don't have necks. But then with this though, they look pretty badass, don't they?
Yeah. The thing is, they're all in the same pose. Is the only problem. We all got the shotguns.
No.
It's like they made one model.
You're looking at the Auspex Tactics YouTube.
No, I'm looking at Games Workshop. I'm on the Games Workshop site. The only picture they have is the 3 lads who look exactly the same.
No, you can have different lads.
No, they look different. Don't worry.
Why would they advertise them like that?
Because no one buys them, mate.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They're not trying to sell anything.
It's just like, look, they just copy and pasted the same lad 3 times.
I love the wacky and wonderful world. All these mad models that like just not they get swept under the rug, and I really like that you can still get them. And it must be like these are the models that are made at like Christmas. You know when it's like the factory's shutting down, it's the last day. They've got like Only Fools and Horses on the telly that they wheel in. And they're having it. They're in their own clothes. They're in their own clothes, and they just get out all the mad old shit like the bike squad, the scout bike squad sprue, and they just go, "Shall we make some mad shit today?" And it's like, yeah.
I love it. Let's make another hunter.
I was looking at
make the hunter great again
for this Badab War thing. Because the thing is everyone's painting a lot of Marines. Some people just want to paint Marines like Sultan. Chris is getting into the whole spirit of it, and because I love Firstborn, I pretty much use my Minotaurs as Firstborn. I've got Primaris, but I'm in a Firstborn mood of the past year or two. So I run Firstborn list only. So I've got a full army for this anyway. But I'm trying to like look at some different ways. And so I've been on a deep dive as to all these, because I love running shit units. It really excites me. And I was looking at the Whirlwind. The Space Marine Whirlwind, because I've never seen one of those on the table. I don't know how good that is.
I have once. There's a cool strat they do called Suppression Fire, which like halves the advance roll. That's what cool.
The rapier cannon and stuff like that can do as well.
I'll be honest with you, with the Whirlwind, Blood Angels. What's his name? I feel really bad. I like this guy.
Not enough, apparently.
Okay,
his proper name.
That's another listener we've lost.
Yeah,
good. Blood Angels, what's his face?
Blood Angels Dude, 69.
Right, Blood Angels Commander.
Hotmail.com.
I couldn't remember if he was called Blood Angels Chapter Master or something, but I'm just getting that confused. Blood Angels Commander, who his channel is dedicated to, guess what? Blood Angels. He actually
Mantis Warriors.
One sec!
Bless you. Oh, he's allergic to Blood Angels.
I'm allergic to Blood Angels.
Well, painting them, yeah.
So he just plays Blood Angels and figures out how to make them. And he played around for a while with having a Whirlwind to suppress units that then his fast moving dudes will attack, which was smart. I think he took it out of his tournament list in the end because it was like, it's good, but it takes the place of something else. You know, just
because you have more stab stuff. Yeah,
it's not that good. It's
but it can be handy if, for example, say you needed to assault a unit that was all flamers or something, or
it stops them overwatching, doesn't it?
That's all it does. It just stops. If it was like halving movement or something like that, so you can get the edge on like charge.
I thought that's what it was. Yeah, that's tremor shells I'm thinking of. Which is
say you need to assault a unit of Wraithguard with the the 12-inch Death Flamer that is strength 10 or whatever. You'd really want to have a Whirlwind to hand.
Yeah, but that's so situational that it's not
exactly.
Like...
Yeah. But it can.
You say it's situational. I fought against Eldar twice, and both times they've been Wraithguard lists. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That's because you're fighting friend of the show, Mikey P. That's your problem.
I did fight him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Whirlwind has got two. It's got a Whirlwind Castellan launcher, which is basically 2 frag grenades. It's heavy 2d6. It's strength 6, which is more than a frag grenade. Does 1 damage AP dash, amazing, and it can do indirect fire, which is brilliant.
Which now means it's going to be hitting on 4.
Yeah. A Whirlwind Vengeance launcher, heavy 2d3, so a maximum of 6 shots, strength 7, AP minus, only -1, 2 damage, and indirect fire. So you're hitting on 4s. You got a maximum of 6 shots. And you can do 2 damage with -1 AP. This is I'm into a Whirlwind. I love shit units. I love shit
It's
units.
so bad.
125% price is a Deathstrike, another piece of shit. So I'm thinking of getting a Deathstrike. I've got land speeders. They're actually
a Whirlwind.
A Whirlwind. Sorry, not a Deathstrike. I've got one of them, and that's a bag of shit. I've got land speeders because I've seen. Is the land speeder Storm the Scout land speeder? Is that shit?
The land speeder Storm is the Scout land speeder. The Storm speeder is the Primaris one, which is not confusing at all.
What does the land speeder Storm do? Has it just got scouts hanging out?
Transport capacity.
Transport.
Yeah.
What you want is the Typhoon or the Tempest.
Christopher, I've got 2 Typhoons.
Wow.
I a friend of ours, Monkey, is notoriously tight, and he laughed at me because I bought 2 land speeders, Typhoons, brand new on sprue, I think for like 20 quid, and I thought that's not bad, tenner each, and he was like, "Why in 2021 have you paid somebody money for land speeders?" He did have a point.
Where'd you get that from?
Tell you what, speaking of that, because we'll have to wrap up in a second because we're over an hour now.
Yeah.
Before that, just speaking of deals of the century.
Oh, yeah.
I just got an amazing deal. You're both fully aware of it, but the audience, I just need to tell the audience because they need to look out for stuff like this. Age of Darkness box set, the Horus Heresy box set came out recently. Loads of Baddie Marines in it. And like the Dreadnought and the tank and stuff. Look, most people are keeping the Dread, the tank, the 2 characters, and maybe a squad or 2. Lots of people are selling Beakies. Now, I got lucky enough. I went into our Discord in Deployment Zone and asked just in general, like, hey, has anyone got any Beakies they want to sell because of this Badab War stuff we're doing? and I want some to make some stern guard and stuff. And one guy hit me up and he said, yeah, I've still got all 40. I don't need any of them. I just wanted the tank. And he said, also, would you be interested in the Dreadnought? And I was like, yeah, all right, I'll go for it. Bearing in mind, the box from Element Games is like 140 quid for everything.
Yeah.
And he was like, for the 40 Marines and the Dreadnought, 60 quid. And I creamed myself. That is a bargain. And then Chris got 10 Marines out of it, ready for his Mantis Warriors.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, if this Badab War and talk of shit Space Marine units has got you in the mood for getting in on the firstborn action, now there's never been a better time than now because of all the Horus Heresy stuff being so cheap. It's definitely worth a looking because those new beakies, I've only had a brief look at the sprues, but every single mini I've seen. People painting, people building, they look great. I think there's loads of different options. Like I've seen people running with the bayonets, with the chainsaw, with the chain blades on the end of the bolters. None of that stuff. I think there's a lot more, and I think as we're going to see, people putting different heads on them and stuff like that. As
special weapons are coming out.
Yeah, I've already seen some Iron Warriors that have been done. And some Iron Hands and Iron Warriors. People are running with them a little bit, and I think there's a lot of potential with that kit. It's a really nice kit, and if you were also previously a bit apprehensive about like scale and size between Primaris and Firstborn, the Mark 6, the beakies are just a little bit bigger, so they look really nice compared to Primaris. Join us on our Firstborn quest.
Yeah. So we're probably going to wrap it up there as we're running over a tad, and we did some long podcasts recently, so I think we needed that little break just to recharge our funny bones and stuff. But we've just rambled about the Badab War, a little bit about shit lists, and some nice little dits in between, some little stories. I'd like to do another episode on shit lists, making our own. That could be fun.
I think we should make our own shit lists. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I love making shit lists. I can't top the Dreadnought drop pod thing, but I'm going to try.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little look. We'll come back. We've got a few other shows planned already.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've got them in the bag. We were going to do one today, but just before the podcast, I thought we all went away and had to come up with our own idea. And just before the podcast, I was talking to Brap, and it turns out we pretty much went for the same idea. We were like, "Oh shit, okay, we're gonna have to." So we're gonna come back with that one. So keep an eye. But yeah, FineCast is back. Sorry we missed last week, and we'll see you next time. It's been a pleasure. Let's do all the fun stuff. Let's do all
the rigmarole. I'll tell you what we could do as well. We could, when we do another episode on shit lists, we'll do some of the episodes we've got planned. But we do shit lists. We could do like a random wheel of names, and we could each get a faction based off a random picker. So you have to go away.
We have to go
before the episode. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I like
you have to think of the worst list you could possibly do. Right. If you like the music that was played, it's going to be played at the end, but also played at the beginning. The intro music was done by our good friend LA French. You can find his music on lafrench.bandcamp.com. Lovely stuff. We're all on social media and all that good stuff. If you can review us, we've not had any reviews for a bit, but if you can get on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, wherever you listen to your podcast, give us a listen, subscribe and follow our show, give us a nice review. That really helps with our algorithm. We get to loads more people. Our figures are awesome, and they're so amazing, and more than we could ever even comprehend that people want to listen to this tribe. But we need to get to more people, get more people out there, and you can help us by subscribing on podcast platforms that you maybe don't use, because that helps us, even if you're not going to listen to it on there, or following us on Instagram. We are on the FineCast pod. It's FineCast Podcast.
Yeah.
You just type in FineCast, it'll come up, and you can see the Space Sharks logo. You can see Dr. Mantido.
Yeah.
You can get the extracurricular media that you crave.
You get some amazing reels of past podcasts that you can then go back and listen to. Which is
all the stuff you need is basically all available on www.bonemagic.com.
Yes.
If you go there, you'll get links to our social medias, all our different platforms are on. Everything that needs a website that's got a link, it's there. bonemagic.com.
It's been so long, I even forgot that we've got Bone Magic.
You forgot about it,
Chris. Like, I totally forgot. Like, I could have just said, go to Bone Magic, and it would have solved the whole problem.
BoneMagic.com.
That's why you're here, Chris. You're the voice of reason in this cold, dark world. We're all on Instagram. You can follow us on DZTV_, and then it's Warsmith_Chris, DZTV_ Sultan, or me, DZTV_ Brapscallion. But yeah, that's it. Subscribe to all our stuff. And next time, shall we give him a little tease, or shall we leave it till next time?
No, let's leave it. Let's leave it because
let's keep the mystery open.
Keep the mystery open. It also means if we plan really badly, we can change it last minute.
Which is common.
I want everybody. We had a really great response last time when we Sultan asked what was your favourite sandwich, and to end the you comment with beans. We got loads of that. I just want to see a lot of love for Dr. Mantido. I want you to like that image, and I want you to say Big Lads Crisps go on to Dr. Mantido and type in Big Lad Crisps in the comment for the picture of Dr. Mantido, or just say what a legend he is. Just write your own fanfic about Dr. Mantido. That's basically what I'm here for.
Yeah, and if you feel like you want to go the extra mile and prove your value, just without any words, just send me a picture of a praying mantis on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Through the post.
Through the post. Yeah.
I just want you to share it. If you don't want to do any of that, just a quick one. Just share the story of Dr. Mantido, just with the hashtag RIP.
Yeah, just rip.
Right.
Yeah. Or if you don't want to do any of that, just send me money.
Yeah. Or
in the post.
If you don't want to do that,
we're adding more work.
Go pour yourself a nice glass of water and have yourself a wonderful evening. Thank you very much. You've been listening.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated.
Right, let's go. Come on.
Let's get out of here.
Right,
you got hydrating to do, dear listener.
Let's go.
Right, we're
see
off.
you later.
The show's over. Get out.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. We should watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off again.
Yeah.